Thank you, Laurel, and thanks for the opportunity to participate in this great series. Why don't we take a minute and just everybody kind of stand up and stretch and just kind of, do one of these things and, get the blood circulating. We've been sitting for like 45 minutes, an hour, so let's shake it up. Okay? All right, sit down. I got 15 minutes. I gotta go. While you sleep, the moon soaps your windows. Your mirror swallows twice the normal dosage of light. Another unsolved theft at the Museum of Snowman Fossils. Someone is thumbing the pages of your diary, touching a match to the fuse of your spine. The stars lower their hooks. Untitled poem consisting of one line. You don't say, and this has an epigraph, the worst judgment people can pass on an expression is to call it a cliche. David Crystal, English language. In the dark, a bed of roses, like a house on fire, in a nutshell. Rain or shine, the good old days drew a blank eureka. I think I can safely say the F word. Welcome with open arms the bee's knees. Call me old-fashioned, a month of Sundays, 0 hour, a bone to pick. Whatever turns you on. We shall keep your name on file, under a cloud, between jobs. The walls have ears, tickled pink. My lips are sealed in the bag on the wagon. Armed to the teeth, X marks the spot over my dead body, the one that got away. Naming the flowers. Mother's affliction. Inflamed iris. Lady sliver. Cemetery skin. Prickly bitch. Wad of red cellophane. Queen Anne's head. Dab of pus. Fucking thorn. Deadly lampshade. Bachelor's buttocks. Vining back hair. Whimpering pansy. Face down in the muck. Lone gunman. Flowering chest wound. Hateful neighbor. Jack in the forehead. House in flames. Swan parts. Angel's trumpet. Touch me here. Bloody haha. Silver phlegm. Purple discharge. Sweet tumor. Wild corpse. Annual contagion. Baby's claw. Dainty hemorrhage. Everlasting facial tick. Surgical mishap. Stitched Isaac, mucus cups, tainted tongue, creepy Jenny, broom rape, which is actually a flower, black-eyed mistress, you prick, Joe Pye. This next poem is a collaboration. I wrote this along with Susan Elby, who's in the audience today. The title came from a novel that I saw at a bookstore in town. And I wrote the first line, Susan wrote the second line, I wrote the third line, and we kept alternating. And this was published online at Qarrstiluni. It's entitled, Why No One Saw It Coming. The accelerating street was wet light, and we were impossibly on ledges, talking down the suicides, disarming the shooters on their way to school. The night's echolocation giving way to the hearts. And though a signal is not an answer, sometimes even a glimpse of the divine yes is enough. The quick of it almost mocking a life laboring to break bewilderment's code. What if we took in the street preacher, silenced the fortune teller, laid off each sure thing? Maybe all we need to remember is how to call the sun up or pin down the moon. Maybe we're merely steps away from nowhere. Security fetish. Insomniac rain and my hands up and down the length of your leaving. The order of the black moon gonging all around. Is it blood weather or the white cottony chasm of other days you vanish into? Checking and rechecking, not much else to do. This next poem was composed in part using text that was appropriated from the liner notes of a world music CD, Jamie Stone and Mansa Sissoko, Africa to Appalachia. So it's a collage poem, collage type poem. It's entitled Stone Banjo. What he came home with was never revealed. Curious hands across the ocean of talk find their journey is over. One song learned from singing along. All kinds of hints were repurposed when not absorbing others. His prayer winded the world, sleeping on a goat, never learned to cue the mythic sky. The unquestionable maps, no place. Our people on the ground are down to earth. Maybe the cab driver was inexplicably profound. The hours of lost swirling blur the walk. And the last few poems that I'm going to read are from a series that I've been working on. Titles has changed a number of times. Let's see, there's 3, 4, about 6 more, but they're short. And this is from the collected poems of Nikita K. In the Office of Uncomfortable Admissions. Every step is measured, then surgically removed. Nothing fits its own frame. On the wall, a shaft of sunlight spears inches from my crown. The secretary, riddled with glances, drops her eyes, and my attention is volcanic, ash pouring over her. I can't decide if I want a red denunciation or a blue redemption pen, what form to take. This may be a good place to offer up confession. that one thought consoles. This is after a poem by Noel Cocott. The title is Poem for the Next Stranger I Meet. Night in infinite decline. It doesn't matter. Stooges club each other for joy, while a scale of ascending bleats weigh the peripheries. From border crossing, from interrogation cell, a split hair. I feel the urge to lift this curtain between us with my teeth. I'm a jokester and a terror. To think some agitated dust would rush to revise my footprints. And then there is you, unaccustomed to this cold, red smoke, curling out of my sicknesses. The damaged fabric has been treated. I live like a hermit on the outskirts of my image. Suppose the ghosts around me are choices the years diminished, but praise the road I have astonished. Naked with huge spectacles, my best-kept secrets tell what they know as they polish my absurdity trophies. Unpleasant as these revelations may be, people will come over to touch me. And this is after a poem by the Russian avant-garde poet from the early 20th century, Daniel Charms. And this was kind of in response to a poem of his that I read. This is entitled Draft. The bald man did not exist. The space he would have occupied, had he existed, was vacant, except for the occasional sunbeam, or fly, or shadow, or hand, or crumpled candy wrapper. There was nothing there. The bald man's wife was put off by this whole situation. She was especially annoyed by the fly, more than by the sunbeam or the shadow. The hand was hers. Who had been so thoughtless as to drop this crumpled candy wrapper on the floor? The more someone wants to stop you from doing something, the more you want to defy them, she thought. She closed the bedroom window, pulled down the shade, and left the room. This is after a poem by Tomas Salomon. As a result. As a result, there are some problems. Soon the sun will come up through my head. The rest of you will fish in the painted sea with a handful of hailstones, with the unshakable faith of maybe. Press 1 for more options. Now, in reverse, because the water is rising in quiet elevators. The last poem is called These Days, and I dedicate it to all of the folks in Wisconsin who voted Republican in the last election. These days, eyes mumble, mouths point. Fish are writing memoirs. I firmly believe Leo Tolstoy wrote War and Peace. I'd believe anything. Like radishes with hands. I've read reports. They might explode. Thanks very much.